Contentment and greed. Long ago, the brothers Mansur and Yasser lived. Each of the two brothers had a boat to catch fish, but Mansur's boat was small, while Yasser's boat was big. Mansur was several years younger than his brother, kind, soft-hearted and kind to his parents, as he was compassionate for the poor, offering them fish for free. While Yasser was fierce, greedy, and hard-hearted, mocking his brother because he offered fish to the poor without taking the price from them. He always said to his brother, "You are a fool because you give fish to these beggars for nothing," and Mansur used to say, "They have nothing. Brother, where do they eat from?" Yasser says, "Am I not responsible for them?" Mansur says, "People are brothers, Yasser. And for the poor, rights over us. Our true religion has recommended them to us," and Yasser laughs and says, "There is no use." Every day, Mansur and Yasser used to go out to fish, and at the end of the day Mansur returns with his small boat full of fish, while Yasser returns with a small amount that is hardly enough for him and his family, but as usual every day, Mansur would sell part of the fish, and then distribute the rest to the poor elderly who could not do any work. Yasser was looking at his brother in anger and saying, "If you don't need this fish, give it to me." Mansur would answer him, "You are not in need, brother. You are a young man capable of working and you have a big fishing boat. These poor people have nothing. They are also elderly, and cannot work." One evening, after Mansur finished selling the fish and distributing the rest to the needy, an elderly man came with a large bowl in his hand, and asked him to take him to the island in the middle. But Mansur said to him, "I will not take from you, sir, more than 3 mugs. Yasser was listening to the sheikh's conversation with his brother, and he came forward from them and said, "Come to my boat, good man, my boat is big as you see and can take you where you want to give me what I ask of wheat," as I said, and the sheikh looked at Basa's face, and then he said, pointing to Mansur, "I will ride this young man's boat. As for you, you take this navel in your boat, and you have what you asked for." The sheikh rode in Mansur's boat, and Yasser took the man's navel in his boat, and the two boats went through the sea until they reached the island. It was a beautiful island, full of trees and flowers, which filled the air with its fragrant scent, while birds flew here and there happily cracking. The sheikh pointed to a large house, saying, "This is my house." The sheikh preferred to open the door of the house and the two brothers entered, where they were surprised by large quantities of wheat filling most of the rooms of the house. The sheikh said to each of you to take what he wants from the wheat, and Mansur said, "I will take the 3 cups that I spent with you on." Yasser said, "I'll take what I want. We agreed on that, sir." Mansur took 3 cups of wheat, but Yasser took large quantities of wheat to his large boat until it was full. Yasser said to the sheikh, "I wish my boat was bigger," so that he took the largest amount of wheat. The sheikh said, "As for me, I would have hoped that you would be satisfied with what Allah has divided for you." The two brothers said goodbye to the sheikh, and each of them rowed his boat, and Mansur's boat was going in ease and ease. But Yasser's boat filled with wheat was diving until the water approached its edge, and Yasser was afraid of sinking the boat, so he threw wheat into the sea until he threw more than half of it, and walked Yasser's boat a little. Then he thought that the boat dives into the water, so he rushed to throw wheat into the water, and from the intensity of his fear and fear of sinking the boat took wheat into the water until he did not stay in the boat as one bead. The boats reached shore, and after Mansur had docked his boat, he carried the 3 mugs of wheat and waited for his brother to finish tying his boat to a stake on the beach. The two brothers walked on their way home, and Mansur was happy with the 3 mugs. But Yasser remembered the amounts of oppression he threw with his hand into the sea, and he is almost distinguished by anger, and suddenly Yasser looked at Mansur and said, "Congratulations to you 3 mugs of wheat." Mansur said, "If it were not for your greed, he would have been with you now like her and maybe more," and Yasser shouted, "And do you want me to leave all this wheat?" Mansur put his hand on his brother's shoulder and said, "No, my brother, that greed wastes what man has gathered. I have accepted the 3 mugs. And now they are with me, but you were only satisfied with filling your boat, and here is the result. All your oppression went to the bottom of the sea. The strange thing, my brother, is that you threw it into the sea with your hand." Yasser said, "This is what saddens me, Mansur." Mansur said, "Do not be sad, my brother. Sadness won't do you any good. Come on, smile. Smile, Yasser." Yasser smiled pale as he said, "The truth is with you, Mansur, if I had accepted a little, he would have stayed with me now. Thank God for everything." The brothers walked home. Years later, Yasser would tell his sons the story of throwing wheat into the water, warning them of greed that wastes what man has gathered.